Year extension worth $73.6 million, and what's that work out to? 18.4 a
Mm-hmm.
year. 36 million guaranteed just to sign his name. Man, are we living in the wrong world? Wouldn't you like to just go to work one day and
Sign your
grab
name.
grab a pen? I signed last time I signed my name was to buy a house, and I felt like I was like signing my life away. And he signs his name, and they give him 36 million. That's Pompiani money,
Yeah.
television
He's
money.
worth it, and I'm glad they got it done. I don't think any of us thought he wasn't going to get it done. It's just a
There
matter
have
of
been
when.
inklings that but usually they wait till around training camp or before training camp.
So what this does now is put all the focus on Deontay Johnson. He's the one guy who, watching the market soar for wide receivers, seems to want his contract. Will it happen? And they have a deadline at the beginning of the regular season. That's still a lot of time, but you have to ask the question, how much money, given the fact that there are going to be – and the Steelers are lucky right now because they do have a quarterback situation that doesn't require a lot of money. When Ben was here, he consumed a lot of it, and why not? He was a Hall of Fame quarterback. So now you do have more opportunities to spend it and address other issues. But I'm wondering now they have a fifth-year option to worry about that they did not pick up with Devin Bush. How about if Devin Bush has a really good year and he bounces back? They have money
they'd
for
love
that.
They'd like it to happen,
exactly.
right?
But I mean, there's always going to be allocations of money for different positions.
Well, he's now the highest paid safety, and significance to me is they're keeping their defense together. Not that I never thought we felt like Minkah was going to leave, but Cam is signed through 2024, T.J. Watt through 2025, and now Minkah, 5 years, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through 2026. I'm counting on my fingers here. I gotta like
That's how we did it back in the day.
Back in school days. But do you like this deal? I'd love to hear from you. 412-928-9370. That's also our Edgar Snyder and Associates fan text line. 412-928-9370. Edgar Snyder and Associates reminds you to text responsibly. I assume you're glad. Minkah, they gave up a lot to get him. They traded a number one pick for the first time since, 65?
Yeah,
to
51
get him?
years.
A long
and
time.
Honestly, the thing that has to happen is their play up front, and hopefully with Alualo coming back, Miles Jack in the middle, Bush hopefully having a better year for them, will allow Minkah Fitzpatrick to do more of what he did 2 years ago and not so much last year. He was forced to do a lot of tackling
15 yards down the field.
Yeah, and that's not what you want him to do. I mean, that's – Terrell Edmonds can handle a lot of that, but he is one of those guys who in select situations can do a lot of damage when you least suspect it. So hopefully the up-front play will be better. They reduce the amount of 100-yard rushers and 200-yard rushing games they've given up, and he can be more of a playmaker and get back to that turnover ratio that you saw.
Well, you say, man, are we counting on Alualo too much? Coming back at his age off of a bad ankle injury. Losing to it, I still think is going to end up hurting them bad. I mean,
I don't think
is Alualo going to be able to play 17 games?
Well, how fast can DeMarvin Leal play? How fast can he contribute? Loudermilk's the guy they like.
They seem to like
They're secondary players. They're not going to be guys you could rely on every single down. But if Tyson comes in and plays and does well, it certainly helps the whole situation there, and it makes Cam more effective. Ultimately, will make their linebacking play more effective, you would think, in theory anyway. But they're going to have all those guys make plays. Wormley's not good against the run, but he is someone who can get to the quarterback. So we'll see.
It's an interesting signing. I think as I said, I think we all expected it to happen. But man, now they have two of the highest paid guys at their positions, right? I think TJ is still the highest paid at outside edge rusher. Now that will change moving down the road. Somebody will pass him up. And now Minkah, it's amazing. You got to understand what you're doing with the cap, right?
Well, and that's what Omar Khan specializes in.
They had some money this year.
Yeah, they did. And they still had like $20 million to spend. They were going to spend it. I still wonder how much is left in case they need, for example, left tackle. And there's some left tackles still on the market, veterans who've been around. If Dan Moore can't handle the situation, but clearly they believe he can. He's listed as their starter over there.
The time is 12:35. Time to call Shenderovich, and Fishman. Why pay 40% when you can pay 25% call 888-98-TWINS. Let's go to the lines and Brian, see what he thinks of the Minkah deal. Hey, Brian, how are you?
Hey, guys. Well, love the deal because you're dealing with a generational, I believe, type player. He reminds me more of Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu. And anytime you can get somebody in that same breath, Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed, to play center field, I think that's a great bet. I'm just happy that we got him, and he's going to be with us for a long time. Love the decision.
Bob, you want to respond to Brian there?
I really don't even think there is a decision. It was just a matter of how much money. They knew they wanted him. They knew he was going to sign. They wanted him to sign. It was just how much money it was going to take. This makes him the number one highest paid safety, I believe, in history. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
History.
Yeah.
So, again, someone will come along, and there's some
Probably
very
next
talented
week, the way it
safeties
works.
in the NFL right now who will get similar money. But
Bob and Ron, but what about the other side? Shouldn't they address that safety position too?
Well, they brought Edmonds back.
no, he's
he's
a
a
reliable
solid
guy.
pro.
Yeah,
He's not a superstar, but I don't think he's a bum either. And who's the guy they brought in from Dallas?
KZ.
KZ.
DeMonte KZ.
Is going to compete with him. Edmonds is in a contract year too. They didn't pick up his option, so now they're going to see what he can do. So I'm okay with Edmonds.
I'm
on the
okay
other
too because
side.
he also understands how Minkah plays, and he's a guy much like what you saw with Ryan Clark and Troy Polamalu. Maybe not to that level, but he knows his role.
Right.
And I think it frees Minkah to do a lot. They have a good working relationship. If you talk to both those guys, they respect one another, know each other pretty well. So I think that's a positive.
Thank you for the call, Brian.